I'm sick of reading nonsense online about solar panels. Let's break down some myths. 10 myths, 10 minutes. Let's go. Number 1, solar panels only work when it's sunny. What a load of crap. I'll be completely honest with you, solar panels will work at all times during the year, unless your panels are covered in snow. The brighter it is, the more generation you can expect from your solar panels. In the winter, you're not going to generate so much. Even on the darkest, dullest days, you still should expect some generation out of your solar panels. Your installer will be able to tell you exactly what your system can generate based upon your postcode region, because the higher up, for example in Scotland, a solar panel that's facing south at a perfect pitch angle would generate less than it would do if you're down in Dorset. So get the installer to check it out. Number 2, you'll never get a return on your investment. What another load of rubbish. Solar panels and battery storage have heavily commoditized in the last 10 years. I remember from being an installer when the feed-in tariff was around and just finished, effectively solar panels were dead expensive and the amount you were paying for your energy was really, really low. Too much of a disparity and it would take 25, 30 years to get your money back. Now, costs are around 6 to 8 years to be able to get a decent return on investment. But there is a Goldilocks effect. If you don't spend enough on your solar panels, it won't generate enough. If you spend too much, it'll take too long to pay itself back. Make sure you do your due diligence, but essentially, you should expect a decent return on investment. The average panel will last 25 to 30 years. So imagine you put £1 in terms of investment, you should be expecting £2.50, £3 out the other end, as long as it's been engineered and designed properly. Number 3, you need planning permission to install solar panels. Again, red tape has been massively cut from the industry by the government. About 90% of all solar installations are now done under what's called permitted development, which means you can fit the solar panels and notify local building control after you've installed. If you live in a conservation area, it is still possible, but only on certain orientations. It's also now possible on flat roofs as well. Number 4, solar is a waste of time if you're not at home during the day. This may have been the case in the past, but now with modern technology, we've got the ability to divert solar energy into loads of different places. Place number 1 you can divert it to is a home battery. You could even divert it out to an immersion element if you have a hot water tank, or you can now divert it to your EV car. And let's say all these are full, you've done all your slow cooking. Well, you can now get export payments as well under the Smart Export Guarantee Scheme. I know E.ON are paying 16.5 pence fixed rate for every kilowatt of energy you send out to the national grid. Number 5, the more solar panels you install, the faster you will get a return on investment. Again, another nonsense. I mentioned a second the Goldilocks effect. If you don't install enough solar panels and don't invest enough into the kit you're buying, it's going to take you forever to get your money back. Equally, if you spend too much on an investment, so if you put far too many solar panels, buy too many batteries, and you're not working your investment hard enough, it will also take too long to pay itself back. You're looking for the Goldilocks effect. You're looking for the right number of solar panels and the right size of battery to get the best possible return on investment. And on a side note to that, think about the future when you're designing your system. If you're getting a heat pump, make sure you pick a bigger inverter so that the battery is capable of charging and discharging fast enough. If you're getting EV, maybe consider an EV car charging point at the same time, because you don't pay VAT on EV car charging installations when it's installed alongside solar. Number 6, without a grant, it's not going to be financially worth it to install solar panels. Again, another nonsense, because solar panels are now way more cost effective. Battery costs have come right the way down to the floor, and the cost of energy just seems to be going up and up. That disparity is proving to be really fruitful when it comes to a return on investment. A typical return on investment for a solar and battery storage system is typically between 6 and 8 years. It will depend on where you live in the UK, what kit you buy of course, and your actual orientation of your solar panels themselves. So there is a bit to engineer on this one, but very typically speaking, there is some fantastic returns to be made when it comes to solar panels and battery storage. Number 7, you can get free solar panels. There is no such thing as a free school dinner when it comes to solar panels. I see so many Facebook adverts that are an absolute nonsense claiming if you're in the Cheshire area, you can get free solar panels via this government scheme. What a load of old codswallop. Now there is a slight disclaimer I want to add into this. There is a thing called the Eco4 scheme. So if you're in a particular income bracket and you have a certain EPC rating, for lower income households, there is sometimes some funding to be able to improve your EPC rating, but wholeheartedly for 90% plus of people out there is no funding for free solar panels. Instead, you need to make that investment to get that return. Number 8, installing solar panels is really complicated and they require lots of maintenance. That's just simply not the case. Installing solar panels themselves is complicated, but that's your installer that's going to be taking care of that. And as long as you're vetting the right installer to install your kit, that should be quite straightforward. Maintenance on solar panels now, they're so well engineered, as long as you're buying the right kit, that they should be a fit and forget technology. The recommendation, typically speaking, is servicing every 5 years to check the mechanical connections behind your solar system. As long as you pick the right installer, maintenance required should be an absolute breeze. Number 9, solar panels will make your roof leak. Or not if they're installed properly, they shouldn't do. If you're picking the right installer that knows what they're doing with an MCS approved hook, rail or in-roof system, there should never be the case where your roof should leak. As long as they're installed properly, they should be lasting the same length of time as a normal roof. Typical manufacturer guarantees are 25 or 30 years on solar panels. They should very much be fit, forget and not leak. Number 10, reselling your home with solar panels and battery storage is going to decrease the cost or make it harder to sell your home. This, from first-hand experience having sold my last family home in June last year, is a nonsense. It was really easy to sell. In fact, it improved the energy performance certificate on my house up to a B, which made it more attractive for the next buyers. Moreover, I got about an uplift of about £8,000 on the property price versus what it would have been on the market by having solar panels on it as well. Now, as long as you have the appropriate building control notification, MCS certificate, and all the relevant certifications and things you need to know about solar panels, I'll leave a link in the description below. And as long as you've got the correct sign-offs for everything else, then effectively it's a breeze to be able to sell your property with solar panels. Oh, and it doesn't affect insuring them either. Did I do it? Was that 10 minutes?